Hey there, YouTube. Well, this finally came in the mail the other day, so I figured I'd do an unboxing and review on it. The Ryobi 900 watt, well, 700 watt running propane powered generator. I was looking for a small tailgate generator, and I figured this would be a good choice because it runs on these little 1 pound propane tanks, or it has a hose so that you can hook up a bigger tank like what would go on your barbecue, right around 20 pounds or so. So let's check it out. So now they claim that it's quiet. As you can see, it's got 700 running watts, which isn't a lot, but for a tailgate generator of this size, it's not well what you should be expecting. 3 hours of runtime on one of these little 1 pound jobbers, and they're claiming 60 hours off a 20 pound barbecue tank. So it just has a 110 volt outlet. Let's check out some of the specs on it. Oh, can't really see. Oh, there we are. So it's saying it weighs 25 pounds and has a 40cc 4-cycle engine. The rest is all just kind of marketing wank, showing you a bit of what you can run. We're going to do another video on this where we'll take an amp meter and calculate out some different things, different tools that you might want to run, and see how much power they draw. So I bought this instead of the other thing that I was considering, which was this Harbor Freight tailgater. You can see it's $109, but you can usually use a 20% off coupon on this, get that down some. Where this thing is retailing for $300. So it's a bit more expensive, but I figured it was a better investment, and I'll tell you why. So this Harbor Freight one, that's a 2-stroke generator, and it's a conventional generator, where this Ryobi one is it's an inverter generator. And so a lot of people don't really know the difference between a regular generator and an inverter generator, and while I'm no expert, the basics are that when you have a traditional generator, it has to run at a constant right around 3,600 RPMs in order to generate 60 hertz at 120 or 240 volts, depending on the size. These inverter generators, so it has a generator that ends up converting the power to DC, and then putting that DC into an inverter. And that has some very distinct benefits. The primary benefit is that it'll allow your generator to throttle down, so it doesn't have to run at that constant 3,600 RPM in order to get your power. And so as a result, it runs quieter, it uses less fuel, it extends the engine life, just because it's able to do that throttling down when it doesn't need to handle a heavy electrical load. Another benefit, though, is that the power, because it's running it through an inverter, you get a nice sine wave out of it, and it's a very, very clean power. You don't have a lot of those spikes that you traditionally find in a regular generator. and that'll allow you to plug it into your laptop or HD TVs or other sensitive electronics. So that's why I shelled out the extra $200. So now, without any further ado, let's pop her open. So the box looks pretty good. Sorry, I'm a one-man show here, so. Alright, some nice quick reference guide. User manual and unit itself. I'm going to set you down for a sec. There we go. It's packed pretty well. There was a dent in the side of the box, but didn't look like it hit the unit at all, so that's good. Alright. It's packed up pretty well. So even if this, even if it was raining out, looks like it would have fared okay. Alright, so there she is. Looks like she's got a primer on this side. Regular pull handle. Here's that hose, so you can hook it up to a 20-pound tank. Looks like we got a spark plug wrench and a screwdriver and a bottle of oil here. Well, looks like it. So we'll kind of take a look at how to get the oil in this thing and fire it up, see how she sounds. Alright, so, well, according to the directions, they want you to hook up the propane first and then go ahead and put in the oil and whatnot, but it doesn't seem like a great idea to me, so I'm going to go ahead and put the oil in. So it comes with the a Torx driver, and you get just 4 screws. And, it has little washers on it, so watch out when you take them off so they don't go flying and get lost. And then this just kind of pries right off, and it's got some capture points that go into these rubber pieces there, rubber grommets. And here's your dipstick. So it looks like there was a little something in there already, but so it says to add the entire bottle of lubricant to the generator. So, all right. There's an amazing amount of plastic inside of it. Like everything's plastic. That housing there. This is plastic. But runs on propane, so probably doesn't have to be as quite as heavy duty as a gas unit. And so they even gave you a little funnel here. It's just kind of handy. Don't have to go looking for mine. Alright, so the oil that comes with it, as you can see, it's a 1030. So I'm going to run this for a little while, and then do another video where I change the oil on it. I'm going to see if I can run Mobile 1 in it like I run in everything else. So let me get the oil in and get the dipstick back in and put the cover back on. You don't need to see that. And we'll head on to the next step. Alright, so we got the oil in. Put the screws back in, cover back on. I went ahead and, just kind of gave it a couple pulls. Just to kind of get the engine, just, get oil circulating through before we fire it up. And I got my cylinder here. One thing that I noticed is that connection right there, it looks like it's cast aluminum, and the connection on your propane cylinder is it's steel. So this thing could be very easy to cross thread, and I'm not sure I'm not sure what it would take to replace that, but you want to avoid cross threading it if you can. What I noticed is that the bottle doesn't go in very easy, which is quite a benefit. It's nice and snug in there. You gotta kind of put the front in first, and then kind of slide it down, and that should help you with any potential cross threading issues. So we'll slide her up there. This is, of course, easiest done with two hands. I kind of have to lift up on the back of the cylinder a little bit and give her a spin. There we go. If it's too tight, cranking it in there, just don't keep going. All right, and you should kind of feel the rubber compressing when you're at the bottom. And as you can see, there's really no threads showing on your propane cylinder. Propane, of course, has that kind of rotten egg smell to it. So after you get it hooked up, kind of wave your hand over it in case some leaked out, and then just kind of sniff around there, see if you smell any propane. According to instructions, they want you to go and take a bottle of like soapy water and squirt it down into there on the joint and see if you see any bubbles coming out. You can do that if you want, but I'm not going to. Of course, if you wanted, you could hook this bad boy up and hook it up to your 20-pound propane cylinder. If you notice, this has the connection so that it only goes into the new style of propane cylinders. There was an older style where instead of the threads being on the outside, they were on the inside, and a lot of connections that you'll find will fit both the older and the newer tanks. This one only fits the newer style. So, all right. So you got your propane cylinder hooked up. Next thing you do is there's a primer button here on the side, and so you're supposed to press that primer button for a few seconds. I'll let you hear. You hear that? And so we went from that kind of warbling sound down to nice constant whine, which I believe means she's full up. So, alright, well, we got our oil in, propane hooked up. Take her outside, fire her up, see what she sounds like. Alright, well, sorry for the darkness. Man, I hate it gets dark at like 5 o'clock nowadays. So, alright, well, we're outside. We have it primed, as we saw. Now we can just give her a couple cranks, see how she does. Alright, hit that primer again. There we go. Man, that is quiet. That is quiet. Wow. And you know, it doesn't have that kind of more harsh sound of a gas generator. Of course, the propane, you know, doesn't contain as much energy as gasoline. But yeah, and it just purrs. I guess next we'll go ahead and hook something up to it. So in the front here, we got our ground plug, got overload reset and an overload light, and just your standard 120 volt, 15 amp receptacle. So what we're gonna do, I got this on Black Friday. We're going to go ahead and hook this 2-gallon air compressor up to it. So this thing is rated at 2 amps. You know, volts times amps equals watts. So it's 120 volts times 2 amps is 240 watts. And you know, as you can see, this thing's rated for 700 running watts. So, theoretically at least, should be just fine. Plug that in. And power. You know, I already had a full tank on this, so I'm going to have to let some of the pressure off. You can see how much louder that is. There you go. And as you can see, this little air compressor is far louder than the generator is. And it didn't even seem to hiccup. I didn't even hear it throttle up. I mean, it's a little bit louder than it was at idle with the load on it, but boy, it's not significantly so. This thing would be great for camping. You know, if you stuck this on like a 25-foot extension cord or so, put it behind a bush or whatever, it'd be very non-intrusive. Well, go ahead and shut this off. Okay, I did hear it throttle down just a little bit. See if you can tell the difference on the video. Not a lot of smell coming off it either. Just a slight whiff of that kind of forklift warehouse exhaust type of smell. So really not bad at all. Alright, well, thanks for watching. This is my first YouTube video, so sorry about the quality. And, next one will be better. You know what? We'll do some load testing with different kinds of power sources, some of them quieter, and I'll do that in another video. Alright, thanks for watching.